property rules just changed again. Shocking, I know. They love to keep buyers and sellers on their toes, but don't panic. Daniela and John are here to break down exactly what the changes to the Home Guarantee Scheme mean for you. As for me, I'm just here to show off my suit.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Title Space Property Pulse, your 10-minute market insider. I am Daniela, and today we're going to quickly break down the recent changes to the Home Guarantee Scheme. Quick note, everything that we're chatting about here today is general information. It's not personal financial advice. So please definitely talk to a professional about your own situation. With me today is John Salama, our expert mortgage broker from Aussie Drummond, who is going to help us navigate what all of this means for you. Thanks for joining us, John, here today.
Thanks, Daniela. Really appreciate you having me on the show with you today. It's a definite pleasure.
Thank you. So let's jump right onto it. Can you give us a quick rundown of what exactly changed with the home scheme? With the Home Guarantee Scheme?
Excellent. So from the 1st of October, we're looking at caps lifted to $1.5 million for purchase price on first home buyers. Secondly is the no lender's mortgage insurance, which will save us hundreds to thousands worth of dollars. And then the stamp duty concessions and exemptions that the government already has into place for sub or below $800,000 purchase price, as we know.
Yeah, because below $800,000, we know first home buyers, they have a full stamp duty exemption. Between $800,000 and $1 million, they get concessions. So,
correct.
How do these changes actually benefit a first home buyer? Obviously, we just discussed now about the stamp duty exemption concession, but is it really going to make it easier to get into the market?
Oh, most definitely. Having no income cap, that's going to introduce a new type of demographic into the market, which will help maybe influence first home buyers to get out there a lot more. Secondly, having that cap lifted to 1.5 million will give us, or us as consumers, a lot more opportunity to try and purchase a first home in New South Wales. And then the no lender's mortgage insurance is just one less cost to make our life easier as a consumers. And I think we as consumers pay enough already, don't you think?
Absolutely. No, that's definitely a big change. So, however, I did hear that some people worry that this change might have a catch. Do you think is there anything in there that buyers should be aware of?
Oh, certainly. The stamp duty is what stands out for me. 5% doesn't include the cost that stamp duty has today. Now, we mentioned at the beginning that the concession was only for below $800,000. And then you would, as a conveyancer, have to apply for that concession on behalf of that customer to ensure that they didn't take on that cost. Now, what happens to all the properties between $800,000 and $1.5 million? So between $800,000 and $1 million, there is a slight concession that you still need to apply for as a conveyancer on behalf of the customer. But then from that $1 million to $1.5, I think we're looking at a good $40,000 to $60,000 worth of stamp duty. And if we're taking into consideration only 5%, that's going to eat up most of the deposit. So we're going to be back at square one with a 1 or 2% deposit, and it's just not going to qualify for the home loan that we need to get our customers in there.
Do you have many customers that will come to you with that idea that 5% is enough and they don't really think through all the other expenses? Does it happen?
Oh, 100% of the time. But I also encourage them to keep coming, because without that educational piece, we are never going to be able to understand what we need to get into that market. So things to take into consideration would be your transfer costs, your government registration fees, stamp duty, your conveyancing, building and pest, and the list goes on. So I'd encourage everybody to speak to, us and all their local professionals to actually get a right idea as to where they need to head into the market in the right direction.
Absolutely. That's something that we always discuss with our clients. Yes, you have the deposit, that's the cost, but these are all the incidentals that you need to be aware of. And, this crazy market in Sydney, we find that people, are going through those building and pest reports. They're doing once, twice, 3 times because they continuously missing out at auctions or, with offers. So, yeah. Now, just before we wrap up, do you have one piece of advice that you could give to our listeners today about the updated scheme?
Yeah, 100%. Look, if you think that you're ready to make the move, do not hesitate to give us a call. I think that is the first essential step that any consumer needs to take into play to understand their position in the market, or at least to understand where they need to be in order for them to be situated into the property market. And without that step, we're always going to be going back and forth in limbo, hoping that there's going to be another grant or another sort of savior that comes into play to help us get into the property market today.
Absolutely. Well, John, thank you so much for being here with me today. Appreciated your time and your wise words. So thanks for joining us for this quick dive into the home guarantee scheme changes on Title Space Property Pulse. See you all next time. Thank you.